It says, douche. So I'm sure you all know that there are plenty of German words out there that are a culmination of a lot of other micro words, and they form these big words that mean these different things. And I had a lot crossing my mind after coming back from my trip to Germany, so I wondered, what are the weirdest German words? Because when you translate a lot of those German words to English, they all mean something weird. Like Schildkröte is like shield turtle, like shield torta or Schildkröte, right? Shield. Anyways, I'm like, there's gotta be other weird words out there. And Germans are like, yeah, Deutsch is a weird language, you know what I'm saying? So I asked you guys on YouTube, what's the strangest German word you've ever heard in your opinion? And the first one was pretty interesting. Doppelhaushälfte. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Doppelhaushälfte. Basically, according to this comment, says, I think Doppelhaushälfte is a classic one. It refers to the type of house that shares one wall with another house. It's also known as a semi-detached house in English. The two houses are built side by side and share a common wall. Each house has its own entrance and garden. The word Doppelhaus means double house, and Hälfte means half. So the word Doppelhaushälfte is funny because it combines two words that are not normally used together.
Alright, so as I'm editing this, I just realized we do actually have a word for this in English, and it's just called a townhome. It's basically exactly what was described here. You got two or more houses that share conjoining walls. Each have their own gardens, they have their own entrances and stuff like that. Y'all call it Doppelhaushälfte, which is weird. It's double house half.
And that, I do have to admit, is a bit weird. Moving on to the next one, shall we? This next individual said, I'd go for Eifersucht, which means jealousy, but it's a strange compound word of Eifer, zeal, eagerness, or mettle, and Sucht, which is addiction. Now, I made a TikTok of this, and I thought Sucht meant addition. I didn't know it meant addiction, so I definitely messed up the definition of what Sucht means, Eifersucht. Anyways, if I were to translate Eifersucht literally, it would be the addiction to eagerness. So I can't decide if that's very deep or just plain stupid. You need me? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below, because this is exactly what you guys sent to me. Fun fact, you know you're German when a simple word like Arbeit zu... Let me say that one more time. Arbeitsunfähigkeitsbescheinigung.
Arbeitsunfähigkeitsbescheinigung.
I don't know what that means. Was bedeutet das? Was ist doing here? Was ist doing here? Was? Tohu vabohu, the closest English word for it would probably be kerfuffle or pandemonium. It's used to describe a mess, chaos, or upheaval, and apparently the word was adapted from an old biblical Hebrew term to describe a sort of primordial chaos. For English speakers, it would sound like tohu vabohu.
So as I was vigorously searching the internet, I actually stumbled across this gem, which seems to be a German TV show called Tohu Vabohu? Do any of you guys know what this was? If you guys watched this back in the day, what was it about? I'm so confused. Also, I did find a definition that makes a lot more sense on the internet. Right here it says Tohu Vabohu means bewildered and astonished, like surprised, like oh my god, like something unbelievable. So I think we've successfully cracked the code.
So I said it right, Tohu Vabohu. This next individual says, one of my favorites is Hanebüchen, which means strange or weird or insane. Hanebüchen. That sounds like a nice ring to it. Next one is any word to describe doing the deed. So if you're trying to get down to dirty business, describing it in German is going to sound a bit strange and a bit uncomfortable, okay?
So if you try and have dirty talk in German, it's like the worst. It's the worst in the world. Because
really?
Like, yeah, like a nipple is like a chest wart.
What?
You just can't describe sexy time or dirty talk properly without either sounding like an alien or impersonating a human, Sheldon Cooper or biggest hillbilly you've ever met. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit weird if you're gonna speak dirty talk in Deutsch. So of course, this individual here got 60 updates, says, I'd go with Schmetterling, which just means butterfly, because it's always used in those memes about how harsh the German language is perceived. Schmetterling! And because it's literally the same word as butterfly. Since Schmette or Schmette is an old word for one of the byproducts of making butter, so they both describe the same picture to describe an animal. This next one is going to be, recently talked about this with a friend, and the word Leidenschaft means passion, but if you write Leidenschaft, it means creating suffering. So Leiden actually means suffering, and one more letter added to Schaft will make it, you know, it's kind of crazy. The next one, Labskaus. It's a food I've never had, but I just think it's such a weird word, and I don't even know if I pronounce it correctly, having only ever seen it in writing. It's also very interesting too. We have another word in here. Du Nervensage is, for me, a strange word, says this user. It means when a person annoys another person. There's a sentence which makes me always laugh. Ich glaube, mein Schwein pfeift. This sentence is used when someone is angry. Ich glaube, mein Schwein pfeift. What about a pig again?
And that should be...
Hey, I hate to bother you. Can't you see I'm in the middle of editing? I think my pig is whistling.
You're what?
Yeah, whistling.
What does that even mean?
Right? Weird.
For example, when I was in middle school, everyone was loud in the art lesson. Most unimportant subject I've ever had in middle school. Through this volume, my former art teacher got angry and some former classmates were laughing. This comment took a turn for the interesting. Anyways, next one says, Das wird doch der Hund in der Pfanne verrückt. Not technically a word, but a strange saying. So here is where the dog and the pancake. Verrückt, verrückt, was bedeutet verrückt? What does this mean?
Verrückt, crazy.
Next one is Bratkartoffelverhältnis. So it's a word for a relationship between a male and a female that are not married, which is interesting. I didn't think y'all had stuff for that. After the war, there was a lot of widows because their husbands died in the war, so they got a lot of money, Vitvinrente, but that wasn't that much. On the other hand, a lot of soldiers came back and had no house or apartment, so widows and soldiers came together. The widow got money from the ex-soldier. The man had a Dach über dem Kampf, someone who had cooked Bratkartoffeln for them, and maybe, well, you know, the male and the female thing where they come together and clap cheeks a little bit. But they were not able to marry because the woman would lose her Vitvinrente. So it was a secret relationship. Bratkartoffelverhältnis. So a Bratkartoffelverhältnis is actually very interesting. I've never even thought of that. It was a time where wives lost their husbands in the war. The soldiers came back to no house, no food, no nothing. So they would pretty much, you know, form a relationship with these wives, and, you know, the wives would cook for them. They would also still be receiving their check, and then the soldiers would pretty much live off of that, and, you know, they were able to work and whatnot and get their little stipend, I guess. You know, together they were able to get their monies and whatnot without actually being married. So it was kind of like a very interesting thing. So Klage is the strongest word because you can have a big argument with another person and you can say Ich verklage dich. And it's the very ultimate of everything existing in German culture. Ich verklage dich. What does that mean? It doesn't tell me anything. What does it mean? Does that mean I hate you? Let's look this up. We gotta look this word up.
Klage, legal action.
Yo, that is the most German Karen thing I've ever heard. Ich verklage dich. That means I'll sue you. I'll sue you, bro. Ich verklage dich. What? Okay, so this last one is gonna be a doozy. So it says Duschlampe is a lamp in the shower, but if you say it fast and repeat it a few times, it sounds like Dusch, which means, you know, you slut. So crazy means a very different things. Duschlampe is like a douche lamp. You can, oh wow, it's a lamp that's above your shower. So like, you know, your shower light. And then the other one means literally. Anyways, that's the video, ladies and gentlemen. I learned a lot of weird stuff today, and you guys continuously teach me a lot of interesting words in the Discord server. So if that interests you, go ahead and hit that link in the description down below. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know. And if you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I will see you later. Take care. Love you guys. Peace.